guys, welcome to another grammar tutor. Today we will be continuing to talk about parts of speech, and I know that we've done a few videos already, but for those of you who don't know, my name is Dasang and I am in 11th grade.
Hi, I'm Eileen. I'm going to 9th grade.
I'm Grant, and I'm also going to 9th grade.
And we are eager to kind of introduce these grammatical concepts to you during the course of the summer. So our fourth part of speech is preposition. And so prepositions are basically words indicating a location or a time relative to something else. So it indicates where things are, where they're going, and when certain events occur. So there's basically a few main types of prepositions, one being direction. So when you want to indicate where something is going or where you want to go, those would be directional prepositions. So an example of that is look to the right and you'll see your destination. In this case, to is the preposition because it's connecting the direction. And there's also time prepositions. This one's we've been gardening since sunrise. Notice how the preposition does not indicate a specific time or even like a specific direction. It's just a general, general time or a general direction. It can also show location. So we saw a Bills game at New Era Field. At will be indicating where we saw the game. So in this case, it would be New Era Field. And lastly, we also have space prepositions. These are probably the ones that you're most familiar with. This example says the cat crawled under the sofa. It can also be the cat jumped over the sofa. Yeah, so that indicates space. And notice how these are all relative to another object. And these are just a few examples of prepositions. You have about, you have around, by, next to, with. You can look at these on your own time.
Okay, so I'll do this one, I guess. So for grammatical usage of prepositions, prepositions are always followed or prepositioned by a noun or pronoun. And for example, we have this sentence: the dog ran under the fence and into the neighboring yard in a matter of seconds. So we have we also have under as a preposition. It's not labeled.
Yes.
And then fence is the noun that follows it. And then also into is a preposition, and then it's followed by the neighboring yard, yard being the noun, and then in a matter of seconds. So that's also a preposition followed by a noun or by a noun in that case.
Yeah, and preposition plus the noun it accompanies indicates a prepositional phrase, which is where that word comes from.
Okay, so there's some words that look like prepositions, but they're actually part of a verb. So those things are called particles. Okay, so here's an example. She turned up her nose. So up looks like a preposition, but it's actually part of a verb. So that's actually a particle. Okay, so here's a tip. So to avoid confusing particles with prepositions, all you have to do is move the word of question and words that follow after it to the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so here's the test. So using the same example as we used, she turned up her nose. All you do is you put up the word that you want to test in front, and it's up her nose, she turned. So yeah, and then if the resulting sentence doesn't make any sense, then the word belongs with the verb and is a particle, so then it's not a preposition.
Okay, so let's do some more practice with this idea. We have this example here that says we ran up the hill. Well, let's see if this is a particle or a preposition. So we test it, and that is up the hill we ran. Well, this clearly makes sense. So that would be yes. So this would be a preposition. Now let's take the same word, up, and change it a little bit. So this is they ran up the bill, which is, in this case, the bill is just like a check or something he would get at a restaurant. So then we do the test. Up the bill they ran. Well, does that make sense? Not really. So you would say that up in this case is a particle. Notice that when you are using a particle, it does not indicate a time or like a place. So that's also clearly another way you can tell between prepositions and particles. Grant, would you like to do the next example?
Yeah, sure. I'll do the next two, right? Because there's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So he came by the office in a big hurry. So to test, we put the by and everything after it in front. So that would give by the office in a big hurry. He came, which makes sense. So by is a preposition. And then next one, he came by his fortune honestly. And then to test, we put by and then everything after it back in front. So that's by his fortune honestly he came, which doesn't really make sense. So that means by is a particle.
Eileen?
Okay, so it's she lived down the street, and so we would test that, and you would get down the street she lived, and that makes sense. So down would be considered a preposition. Okay, so another example is we finally lived down the accident. So we would test this again, and we would get lived down the accident we finally, which definitely doesn't make any sense at all. So down would be a particle in this case.
Yeah, okay, so this is basically the end of our introduction to prepositions. Again, like I said in previous videos, we'll go more in depth with these concepts once we kind of further our understanding of these grammatical ideas. But with that being said, we hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell if you would like to be notified of our future uploads. So yeah, we hope to see you next time, and thanks for watching.